XRP family, I was gone for 2 days and so much has happened since then. A lot to discuss. Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Shout out to you guys for showing so much love. Continue supporting, and I got you guys covered on these updates. But look at this. The number of crypto professionals paid in crypto has tripled in 2024, with 9.6% now receiving salaries in digital assets. Circle USDC leads at 63% of all crypto payrolls per Pantera Capital report. So, more and more people are starting to accept crypto as payment for their jobs. And I think this is just the start, and we're going to really see this become a norm. But maybe there's going to be like some sort of an incentive that's going to be introduced right now. Obviously, that's not the case. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Looking across the board, as far as the daily time frame goes, we are starting to see some green finally. But of course, let's not forget what has been happening for the market over the last 1 week. Today marks the week since the month of August started. It's crazy to wrap my head around that. We're already a week in, but we are obviously seeing a little bit of a pullback as we did start off the month. Price of XRP sitting exactly at almost $3. We're up about 1.6% in USD and Bitcoin. Comparative valuation at 177.4 billion in the 24-hour trading volume at about $3.6 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So look at this: ETF flows. Around 91.6 million of Bitcoin and about 35.1 million of Ethereum were bought on August the 6th. So we're starting to see still inflows coming in. And while Bitcoin is showing quite a bit of volatility pretty much since the start of the month, we are still seeing inflows coming in, which is something that we don't really want to be neglecting. Big money is still coming on board. They understand the bigger picture. And this is, of course, inflow numbers right in front of us. Yes, it's not in hundreds of millions, but it is still an inflow, almost at 100 million for BTC. While there is still quite a bit of panic, pretty much since the month of August started, a lot of market, investors are actually panicked because, of course, we're starting to see volatility. But in the grand scheme of things, big money is still accumulating no matter what. But take a look at this. Ripple has $1.5 billion in cash plus an additional $4.5 billion of XRP on blockchain addresses. Imagine the companies Ripple can acquire with a balance sheet that deep. Again, obviously, speculation going on. When people take a look at how much money Ripple really has, obviously the hidden capital, Hidden Road Capital, the company that Ripple has acquired just not too long ago, that has gotten obviously a lot of people speculating upon what their next move is going to be. Obviously, nothing has been said and done, but it is something that a lot of people discuss. I think maybe that's not something in their pipeline. Maybe I think they want to really strategize with what they have now and really kind of take it to another level, but maybe in the future you do see them acquiring more bigger companies. But as of now, it's something that we can kind of look into and speculate upon. But look at this, shout out to Smoke. The price of suppression of XRP is coming to an end. Directly from SBI Holdings, the legal dispute between the SEC and Ripple, which has been a barrier to the IPO by surpassing the price of XRP for an extended period, is moving towards resolution. And when I kind of think about it, whenever I read something, I kind of think about it to make it make sense to me. And when you kind of look at it from an IPO standard, remember the SEC lawsuit is something that still, of course, we have heard something very, very bullish, and a big news, of course, that has come out that it is coming to an end in terms of that lawsuit itself. But it's not said and done, from the judge themselves. It's not officially done. And it kind of makes me think now, is this why Monica Long has ruled out, an IPO for the year of 2025? Because, of course, they want this to be said and done and then, kind of strategically announce the IPO. They're not just going to randomly, have an IPO listing or, announce an IPO just the next day or, in a week. That's not how it works. It's done strategically, and it's always nice to have things done strategically because, of course, that kind of makes you start preparing for it. So maybe in this time frame, while this lawsuit is still kind of ongoing, and we still haven't yet to really officially hear that it's done from the courts. Maybe in the meantime, they're actually kind of strategizing how this IPO is going to go about. I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. Have seen Brad Garlinghouse himself talk about this. It's not like it's a rumor. He said it himself. There's videos out there as well of him talking about an IPO. And of course, with how blockchain and crypto companies that are starting to do IPOs, it is very, very hot in this moment. A lot of interest coming in towards crypto companies that are doing IPOs. As I've stated to you guys before, only a few will survive in the long term, but I do believe Ripple will take advantage of it and will be one of the most successful ones when it does end up happening. But let me know what you guys think about suppressing the price. Do you think the price of XRP is being suppressed? Let me know in the comments down below. But take a look at this. Did you see this? XRP just went institutional in Korea. This is huge. This is a massive news that has come out about a day or two ago. They're not just exploring anymore. Banks can now hold and custody XRP like real capital. The West won't see it coming until it's done. You're not early, you're right on time. Shout out to X Finance Bill for posting this. And yeah, this is a big news coming out of course, Korea from BDAX. And I'm sure if you are part of the XRP community, you've probably heard about this. And again, I stated to you guys before, it's not just we talk about U.S. becoming the global hub. If U.S. were not to become a global hub, they know that other countries are wanting to take that title. But Trump does not want to have that happen. He wants to make the U.S. The crypto capital hub. And of course, we're already starting to see some big things happening pretty much since his presidency. We're 7 months into this year. A lot has changed. A lot has changed for the space in such a short span of time. Imagine what the next 5-10 years look like. And this is where the excitement really kicks in. But take a look at this. Wisdom Tree's July 2025 crypto report highlights XRP as a top performing single asset, leading the market with a 384% 1 year gain. The report also recommends XRP as a strategic diversifier alongside BTC. This has been, of course, documented by Wisdom Tree, a major asset manager who has also filed for XRP spot ETFs. And now let's talk about the big thing that has a lot of people talking about, which of course is Caitlin Long's comment. There was with Digital Investor, there was an interview. Caitlin Long had not some good things to say about Ripple, which got a lot of people talking. And this shows the power of the community. There's obviously people that are just back their projects without really any valid points, but you have seen the Ripple team. They've been actually hit with a lot of FUD before. This is not the first time. And of course, when you understand who Caitlin Long really is, in a way, they have a bank she launched a bank where she has Wall Street experience. She worked at, I think it was Morgan Stanley, I believe, a very, very big bank. Of course, she has a lot of experience in the finance world, but she shifted towards, crypto space early time too, I think in 2012, I believe. And then she launched her own bank. And it's like a custodian bank where you could they offer custody services for institutions for BTC. And now as regulatory clarity is coming and Ripple is making these big moves, she had not some good things to say about this. And look what Vet says. She has no clue what she's talking about, but she talks with such confidence about it. Ripple never did an ICO. XRP was worth nothing when the XRP ledger started and all 100 billion put into the Genesis account. The XRP ledger is a decentralized. Either it's ignorance or a lack of education to still really understand what's happening. There is nobody preventing you from joining the network, run infrastructures, or even fork the code base. We have 1,000 nodes and 100 plus of validators run by individuals and businesses. The same people you deny exist. Mind-boggling. ETH is an ICO. I'm sorry, did an ICO. Bitcoin was taken to get ETH distributed to the initial investors. Ripple payment uses the XRPL ledger, and RLUSD is also issued on the XRPL. There's a lot of progress on the XRPL, growing business use cases, developers, functionalities via amendments, and very deep liquid network supported by the native DEX, the very first DEX and tokenization platform in existence, the XRPL. And of course, when you kind of take a look at it from Caitlin Long's comments, of course, this is a competition at the end of the day. And of course, with the way Ripple is moving, it's obviously gotten a lot of eyes on it. A lot of banks, a lot of big, financial services companies are, starting to pay attention. And obviously, this is going to put some sort of a pressure on your company, and it has, Caitlin Long not too happy about this. But look what David Schwartz says. Caitlin Long, I'm available whenever you want to chat about the facts about Ripple, our stablecoin RLUSD, the XRP ledger, and its native token XRP. The XO started with some basic ones above. Amazing stuff. But now, with that said, let's take a look, what's happening with the price. As far as the dominance is concerned, pretty much kind of hovering kind of all over the place. We were in this downwards trajectory pretty much since the whole month of July, but since the month of August has started, we started to kind of see some volatility, but that is in correlation with what's happening with BTC. But right now, dominance is pulling down, but again, not out of the woods yet, unless of course we break below, the 61.42%, which would push us to, which would put us down to the 60.2%. That would be quite something. But I did indicate to you guys before in my other update, as far as the month of August is concerned, historically speaking, it is a bearish month for Bitcoin. Are we going to see a flush happening? Maybe. I'm not writing it off. We need to always keep that in mind. And of course, that would kind of set us up for a nice start to the month of September, which a lot of people are optimistic about due to the fact that we do have a rate cut happening. But you can clearly see, I want you guys to understand, just based off of what Bitcoin's doing. Since the month of August started, we were a week into it. We're having a hard time breaking above 115. That itself should tell you that, this is something that, we're starting to see a little bit of weakness coming on BTC side. But right now, as recording this update, Bitcoin has claimed above 115,300 just yet. If it's able to break out of $115,563 key resistance, then we can maybe push up to maybe 117,700, even reclaiming back up to the 119, which would be very, very nice to see. But until then, I am not too optimistic, so we need to keep that in mind. If you're looking at XRP has been able to reclaim back above the $3 range. It has been holding really nicely above that $3 psychological level as to be expected. Of course, you could see this for yourself right now in front of you. We got rejected just yesterday as well, but now we have broken out. Of course, as Bitcoin did see a little bit of a push, dominance is pulled down. We are where we need to be. XRP holding really, really nicely at the $3 price point, regardless of volatility. Really impressed with the price of XRP's overall price action. But so far, we need to kind of keep BTC in mind, because I believe we're still not out of the woods just yet. I'll keep you guys covered. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.